To what extent does the past shape our future? A millennia I spent in cryosleep. Why was I placed there? What is my destiny? To find my purpose, I must uncover my past.
Folks, I'm Filler B, and welcome to a new announcement trailer for Galactic Paragons DLC, available May 9th. Let's go over this DLC. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. Let's take a look at what it's all about here. Alright, according to the Dev Diary 296, are announcing Galactic Paragons. It says, over the past year, we've been working on several things in parallel. While their green team Stockholm was building the First Contact story pack, their colleagues in their Arctic team were working on a major project as well, which appears to be Galactic Paragons, a new DLC. It impact our whole empire, and we're releasing May 9th, as I mentioned, which is not very far from now, and quite frankly seems really soon. From when the first DLC, the First Contact DLC was released not that long ago. I don't feel like I've even gone through a whole campaign yet with the last DLC, but you know, I guess they had stuff on the go and they can release them all at once. I'm not going to complain. More content, more good, right? And this seems like another smaller content pack, I will say. Let's go through what it's talking about here. So the vision of the Galactic Paragons. So since the midst of the empires of the galaxy, there are luminaries who rise above the masses. They may take on many forms: cunning rulers, ruthless warlords, devout prophets, bold explorers, and visionary scientists. These leaders leave undeniable imprints on their empires. I don't think undeniable is a word. I think it's undeniable. Etching their names into the annals of history and the collective consciousness of the people they ever ruled. Galactic Paragons expansions focuses on the extraordinary individuals seeking to capture the essence of their epochal reigns. So this is a leader expansion pack to expand on the leaders of the game, to add more depth and breadth to that particular mechanic, which is honestly not something I ever thought needed updating. Not that I'm complaining in any way, but I always thought that the leader thing functioned fine as it was. Leaders sure were a little like boring, vanilla, and they just sort of happened. You'd pick them with some traits and they'd level up over time and then eventually die. Blah blah blah, you'd replace them. They seemed a lot like a resource in the game as opposed to something related to the role-playing aspect of the game. But this whole DLC seems intent on changing that to make them not just a resource, but also including them into the role-playing aspect of Stellaris, which is one of the reasons why I love this game so much, because it is a grand strategy game, which I love, but also a role-playing game, which I also love. So it says here they can tell us their stories. The new level up system will allow you to shape the leaders in a whole new way, pick traits, select between veteran classes, and find the positions in which they may excel. They may also tied to the galaxy in a new way with a home planet, a previous profession, and their own ethics. Follow their journeys and witness their unique destinies unfold. If you look at this little picture here, you can see that Dolores Mungwana here is the president. And she's ruling from Earth. She's got some traits here. She's leveling up, and it looks like they can pick a trait, either deep connections or the unified focus. So deep connections is a little preview here. It's a veteran leader trait and gives monthly influence plus 0.5%. It says the leader is firmly entrenched in the labyrinthian web that makes up the political machine. Pretty cool. So we have a lot more depth in the experience and leveling up of characters, as well as the backgrounds that they come from. Neat-o. Wonder how annoying this will be with a species with a very short lifespan, because you cycle through leaders very quickly. And same with like scientists who get killed on missions and things like that. And they also are going to introduce something called a council, and this is what I think is really cool. A new ruling council is introduced, where characters with the highest positions of your empires may take their place. Powerful traits have immense influence over all that lies within your empire's borders, and from here you can unleash political agendas. So that's interesting. You can look on the little screen here. There seems to be 5 positions filled out. Whatever, Protector of Liberty, the Head of Research, the Minister of Defense, the Tribune of Rights, and the President. This is obviously an egalitarian society, you can tell. And you can see on the left here, they're fanatic egalitarians, and they're xenophiles. So this is the UNE Council, which I think is one of the default empires in the game. So you can encourage political thought here, active effects or edicts. I don't know what infinite opportunities is, but maybe it's one of these things you can select, where it slowly looks like it's a bar that levels up over time. So maybe they're going to introduce another system that exists for archaeological sites and both espionage and first contact, where there is a slow leveling up over time with various event markers that happen. Could be. And launched agendas, I don't see anything here. It looks like they all have some bonuses to here as well that you can get. Very interesting indeed. They have something called legendary leaders as well. Out there in the void, you may discover powerful paragons. These may seek to join your empire depending on your ethics. Here, may be approached by here. Sometimes the phrasing here. May be approached by greedy governors who grovel in the dust, cunning spy masters, prophets who disseminate their knowledge of the shroud, and so on. But as you explore the galaxy, you may also encounter truly legendary beings that may change the core of your empire. So it looks like on top of the regular sort of generals and scientists and governors and leaders and so on that you get throughout the game, and you level them up, and maybe they can turn into a legendary leader over time. You also have legendary people appear out of the woodwork that you can slot into these positions. Maybe that's something that you can hire the scientists and the curators. Could be interesting. You can hire generals from some of the other factions, and fleet admirals as well. And there's also that one, the Exile is an event chain that you can get where you have the Exile come back. Maybe all those are going to be worked into the legendary leader stuff. Especially I can see the Exile coming back as part of this, his story getting, or their story I should say, getting revamped to fit into this new DLC. And then we have the rest. There will be a new origin. Interesting. Probably related to the video at the beginning that we just watched, where there's like a child, like a Superman-like person, a child launched away in a probe to a distant planet to grow up and survive. Several new civics, probably relating to council power and things like that. Tradition trees. Maybe there's a new tradition that's going to show up that has to do with leader dynamics and making better leaders. Who knows? Or maybe changes to the tradition trees that exist now, because a number of them do cover aspects of leaders. New agendas, don't know what agendas are. Council positions, we saw that above, and I'm sure they're going to be dynamic to the kind of empire that you have, and much, much more. More will be revealed in the future. Very cool. And I'll just add, if you haven't seen, that the previous dev diary to this, or one of the more recent ones, also noted a couple of other minor changes that are happening. For instance, they are allowing you to modify your star sectors now. So when you set up a sector, you can add and remove planets from it. That's going to be amazing. And they're also going to update the fleet designer to make it a little easier to use and understand, and add and remove fleets, and maybe get rid of some of the weird bugs that would occur with the fleet planner, where ships would get lost and some ships wouldn't join a fleet, and fleets would duplicate, and all this kind of stuff. That sort of mess that system, although very useful, has caused. So that takes us to the end of the new DLC, Galactic Paragons. It'll be coming out, let me just scroll to the top to make sure I got the right day here, on May 9th. I'm excited to see. On May 9th, we'll probably start a new campaign on the channel, and I'll probably have 2 Stellaris campaigns going at the same time. We'll continue our current campaign, which, a bit of spoilers for those who haven't seen it, will be changing. It's coming very shortly. And this a campaign for this one that we take on some sort of leader-focused campaign would be kind of cool. Anyhow, hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and come back and see my adventures in Stellaris and other games that I play on this channel. Have a great day. See you then.